Thank you. Good morning, my name is Chloe Finigan. I'm here representing the Clean Air Council and Feed First Philly. The Clean Air Council and Feed First Philly urge you not to support this bill. If adopted, this would be a regressive policy change that prioritizes parking over affordable housing, transit-oriented development, and public health. Clean Air Council is one of the Philadelphia region's oldest environmental organizations, working to protect everybody's right to breathe clean air. The council serves thousands of members in the city. Feed First Philly is a pedestrian advocacy group that is part of the council. Doubling mandatory minimum parking requirements for apartments and multi-units will decrease the affordable housing stock in Philadelphia and is a powerful subsidy to those who can afford to own a car. According to researchers at Reinventing Parking, by building a single parking space, a Philadelphia renter would see their rent increase between $150 and $400 a month, regardless of if the renter owned a car or not. According to the U.S. Energy and Information Administration, the EIA, the transportation sector has produced more carbon pollution than any other sector since 1979. The EIA has cited the country's over-reliance on single-occupancy vehicle travel and a failure to prioritize non-driving modes of transportation as having a profound impact on this result. Transit-oriented development, TOD, helps address this issue by reducing automobile dependence. In addition to the environmental benefits, TOD can create well-connected, walkable, economically viable, and healthy communities. Doubling mandatory minimum parking requirements undermines the goals and benefits of TOD and turns dense neighborhoods into auto-dependent communities. Mandatory minimum parking requirements can dramatically impact public health. Giving over more space to parking encourages excess driving, which creates a more dangerous environment for pedestrians and cyclists, as well as increase the amount of congestion, accidents, and air pollution. Ozone, commonly known as smog, is one of the many hazardous car pollutants. Smog is extremely dangerous to the lungs of children and seniors and can cause premature death. In the United States, the transportation-related pollution caused 53,000 premature deaths a year. In the city that the American Lung Association has rated with an F for ozone pollution and D for short-term particle pollution, sustainable transportation should be encouraged. This bill prioritizes vehicles over other modes of travel like walking. The increase of available parking will only lead to an increase of vehicles and take away from potential space that could have been used for pedestrians. Doubling parking minimums creates an auto-centric culture that makes our neighborhoods hostile to pedestrians. Instead, we should focus on creating a city and a culture that puts people first instead of cars. This bill is not grounded in an actual demand for parking. eConsult Solutions found that Philadelphia renters are less likely to own a car than homeowners, and that people who live in multifamily buildings are also less likely to own cars than people who live in single-family homes. What is in demand are safe and healthy communities with affordable housing and transportation options. The council urges you not to vote in favor of this bill. Thank you for considering my testimony. If there are any questions, I would be happy to discuss this important issue further from any of the council and their staff via email.
Okay, thank you. Before we have questions, Mr. Cumba, please identify yourself.
Okay, all right, I appreciate that. And Ms. Finn, and I heard the figures you said, and I'm not disputing them, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic here. In a perfect world, I'd like to see a whole lot less cars. But we're not living in perfection, we're living in reality. And the reality is what Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Kumba, and what I see a whole lot of people around tell me that in these areas, particularly areas that have become more and more desirable and more things, units are being built, parking is just a huge problem. It's just the reality. I don't know if you have any comment on that.
Yeah, no, it's a great comment, and I do understand that. I myself live out in West Philadelphia. I do not own a car. I get around as a pedestrian or using public transportation. But that is a notable problem in Philadelphia. I think there is a balance between solving problems for the now and creating a Philadelphia that can be sustainable in more than one way, of course. But I think one of the points that we mentioned is adding more parking just allows more cars to be in the city. So there is a point of addressing parking issues now, but building larger parking garages will just encourage more cars to be in the city, having a cycle of the same problem. So I think that there has to be a mix between building for now and then building for the future.
Okay, and in fairness, the balance is what I think Councilman Blackwell and the Council President tried to work with the the planning commission is try to find that balance. Because, again, we're not going to totally agree on this, obviously, but I just, you know, I'd like to think that if you didn't provide parking, that people wouldn't get cars. That's not what I see. That's not what I see in my neighborhood, that's not what I see in other neighborhoods, that's not what I hear from other neighborhoods. People still have their cars. You know, for whatever reason, they want a car. And a lot of folks come from the suburbs, they're used to having a car. That's what they do. They have a car. And they're going to have it. So I guess I haven't seen evidence. I hear the numbers, but my eyes say something else. That not providing enough parking doesn't stop people from having cars.